Hello, Valko lovers. I hope you're all doing okay and looking after yourselves. It's a new month, and you know what that means. We need new resolve to keep on fighting for Valko. Look, I know how exhausting it all is. I'm getting worn down too, but I honestly, truly, sincerely believe that we've gone through the worst of it and now we're on the other side. And it's only a matter of time before we get Valko back. The other day, just a lot of questions came to mind about moving forward into August. Like, now that I know Infold is going through the legal route and opening lawsuits, which I very much approve of, it just left me wondering, what are we Valko supporters supposed to do now? Like, at the beginning, when Valko was first cancelled, our motive was to get Infold to understand that it was actually a minority that wanted Valko gone, but the majority wanted him back. Then, towards the middle, when I believe we all sufficiently felt that we had truly shown that a majority of players stand with Valko, it shifted a bit and started to be about making a sustained effort to support Valko. I feel like this shift occurred after July 9th, when some people were left reeling and confused about what to do. But eventually, the community came together and decided to continue the boycott and everything else that we did. And so now I feel like we're entering a new era of this movement. Once again, there's a shift where we're all just kind of weary and questioning what we're supposed to be doing and why we should do these things. Like, what actions should we take now and why should we take those specific actions? What will they achieve? Honestly, I had wondered if continuing the boycott, not logging in, not spending, was worth it for this new era. Because if it's true that Infold themselves want Valko back, and I sincerely believe that that's true, then wouldn't the boycott be framing things in an us versus them situation? I wondered how we could sort of like stand in solidarity with the workers at Infold that I believe are working to bring Valko back while also continuing to make it clear to Infold that we seriously mean it when we say we need Valko back to make the game worth it. And we are not joking about that. Like, at this point, nobody who has spent a whole month fighting for Valko would accept any outcome other than Valko coming back as a fully fledged love interest, just like Silas and Raphael and all the others, looking exactly the way we know him to look, the way we fell in love with him, right? So I did some thinking and some research, nothing extreme and nothing professional. Like, I'm not a professional in any of this, guys, but I believe that right now, the most important thing we can do is to keep showing that we have not and we will not forget about Valko. Because think about it. Now that we have all this positive evidence on our side and the scales have tipped in our favor, the most pressing issue is no longer putting pressure on Infold to bring Valko back. I believe now that it's mostly a matter of waiting, and waiting can get very long and very tedious and can just really wear down the soul. Waiting is when people start to forget because waiting it really isn't easy. So that's why we need to prioritize not forgetting about Valko in the public eye during this waiting period. I know it's not easy to come up with new, fresh things that are Valko related when what we have about him is so limited already, but I believe we can do it. We showed extreme determination and resilience when it came to showing a sustained effort during July's boycott. I believe that if each of us can post about Valko every other day, it doesn't have to be every single day, then we can continue to keep Valko alive while showing Info that Valko isn't someone they can afford to forget because we are not willing to forget him. Like, I'm sure they'll be keeping their eyes on the community during this time, so we need to show them that there will always be a demand for Valko in our hearts, so they better get to supplying. So, how can we show that we haven't forgotten Valko? Well, we can continue creating new fan art. And if you can't create it, try sharing it with the permission of the artists where necessary. Continue writing letters. These could be to Infold sent via email. They could be letters shared on official websites like lettersforvalco.com, or they could be letters that you just wanted to write and share on a social media platform of your choice for other Valko lovers to see and appreciate. You can make posts or videos discussing Valko's lore or ideas you have about his lore, or talk about whatever it was about him that really reached out to you and resonated with you through the screen. Keep Valko related hashtags alive. Don't let them die down. I also want to stress how crucial it is that we frame this as support and not an attack on Infold. I'm saying this because I see so many posts on the daily where frustrated hunters and Valko supporters are attacking Infold or using harsh language to express their frustrations. And I sympathize with the frustration. Like I said before, waiting can really wear down the soul, and silence too. It is really tough to put up with. But I've also tried to make it clear in my videos that I believe Infold has valid reasons for the decisions they are making. There's the whole legal proceedings their company's taking against defamatory claims that were made against them. There's also the safety of employees that needs to be prioritized. Like, while things are definitely getting better in China, Infold is still facing heat domestically. Just the other day, I saw several posts of how a 15-year-old boy took an axe to Bilibili World and used it to destroy the Love and Deep Space display. He made a whole post about it, taking pictures like he was doing something cute and not downright psychotic. Now, I saw some people inaccurately claim it was a girl who did this, a 15-year-old who played the game and was an extreme Valko hater. But no, it was a boy. He didn't even play the game. According to this boy, in a half-assed apology he made later, he claimed he did it because he saw an AI-generated video of Valko where Valko was doing some bad stuff, and he didn't know that the video was fake, so he hated Valko and Love in Deep Space enough to take an axe to their display at Bilibili World and decimate it. Now, maybe that's all true, although it is still definitely psychotic to use a weapon in a public place over a video of a game character, no matter how real you thought it was. What I'm about to say is purely speculation, but some CN girlies are saying that based on the language the boy used in his two separate apology posts and just in his previous post which he made on his own account, and also I believe he did speak during a video he took and posted of himself destroying the lad's display. So CN girlies are speculating that according to the language that he was using, he's probably been watching these Chinese version of like extreme misogynistic manosphere content, and he probably destroyed the display out of hatred for women and women-centered things. Because apparently in China, there's lots of these incel type men who really, really hate the game. They hate all otome games and believe that they're giving women unrealistic standards. They basically view the lad's love interest as competition and feel really insecure over 3D men. And basically these men couldn't be happier over what's happening with the game. They want it completely destroyed. I have personally seen these kinds of men in comment sections on Red Note. They'll come in saying things like, I'm just an unrelated man, but I'm entering this battle. I killed Chiyu, I killed Shai Zhou, etc., going through all of the love interests, basically threatening death and all kinds of violent things for each love interest. Like, yeah, I've even seen some CN girlies say that some of these incel type men have this kind of like very loose alliance, if you can call it that, with the CN Valko haters. Even though they have different end goals, most Valko haters want only Valko gone and for their favorite love interest to remain and be prioritized and given special treatment. Though there are some hateful Valko haters who they just want the whole game gone. Like they want the entire game to end of service. And these incel types, they all want the game to completely end of service. But anyway, I'm thinking I'll make a separate video on how misogyny has affected and been a part of the Bring Back Valko movement, because I have seen a lot of it, not just on the Chinese side, but even on the global side. There's just misogyny written all over. Anyway, what I was saying was that things are still dangerous for Infold, right? And on top of legal proceedings and danger, they're probably doing other stuff like holding internal meetings and reviews and stuff. Corporate matters can take a surprisingly long time. So the point that I wanted to make was that it's important during this waiting time that we refrain from attacking the company further. We certainly don't need to be another problem of theirs posing more risk for them, because that'll just be another obstacle between us and Valko. We need to make it clear that we support Valko, but we do not support harassing or spreading rumors about them during this time. Personally, I also think we can continue with the boycott if you're up to it. Although, if I'm being honest, I don't think many people are even interested in playing right now because things have just been so stale with the game, and I think they'll continue to be for a while. So good news is boycotting shouldn't be too hard. With nothing happening in the game, there's less occasion to get FOMO over the game. But I do want to say that if you are continuing with the boycott, make sure you know where your goals are. Your why is very, very important going forward. Are you doing it because you want to punish Infold? Are you doing it out of guilt or because you see others doing it too? Or are you boycotting to communicate to Infold in a way that they'll understand that it matters a lot to you to have Valko restored? Make sure your why is one that will be sustainable and healthy for you. And remember, try not to get triggered by the choices of other players. Each of us is in charge of our own decisions. Me personally, I haven't logged in since July 30th when I uninstalled the game. I'm thinking of logging in maybe once or twice just to check on the boys since I've been gone for so long, but I don't think I'll stay long in the game. I believe Heartfelt Gift is ending soon if it hasn't already ended. Plus, all the free wishes that they were giving out each day in July have ended, so it's not like I'll have anything to play or resources to farm. There isn't going to be much to stay for. Honestly, I'm a bit curious what it'll feel like to log in for the first time without Valko. I've seen so many hunters say the game feels weird and off without Valko, knowing he was supposed to be there, and I'm just wondering if I'll feel the same way too. But I'm not planning to stay long in the game. I'm planning to definitely continue after checking in for just a bit. Other things I feel are important to keep in mind for August are to keep yourself from burning out. And if you can help encourage others in the community to keep each other from burning out, please do so. Anything that'll boost morale. Whether that's hosting or attending Valko related fan events, or celebrating creations like Valko cosplays, and reminding people who feel frustrated or exhausted every now and then that info silence doesn't necessarily mean no. Also, very important, try not to make deadlines for yourself or other people, okay? Now, to end things on a good note, I do have some copium. Infold recently made a complaint against a content creator on a Chinese media platform. In the complaint statement, they named all 6 of the love interests in the same line, including Ao Yin, Valko. They later on mentioned copyright infringement in the statement. So to all the people saying it wasn't that big of a deal when we saw that Valko's copyright had been filed, clearly it was a big deal, and it was just so amazing to see Paper Games use Valko's name in the same line and context as the other love interests like that. And the haters saw it too. They were shaking in their boots. I even found out that some of them were literally impersonating Paper Games, trying to file their own official complaints against Valko supporters who were making Valko related posts. However, they quickly pulled down the posts they were making because maybe some sense finally found them and they were scared enough to realize how illegal and risky it is to impersonate a legally running company. I've seen some people say all the statements were fake and were from antis, including the one claimed to actually be from Infold, but I believe that that's not true. There is one that is actually from Infold. It's just that after the real complaint was released, some people thought it would be smart to try to copy it. This gives me even more hope, honestly, because the haters are really out here digging themselves into that ditch even deeper, and I say let them. I am all for giving them enough rope to hang themselves. As for more hopium, many hunters felt it was only right that as of August 1st, Infold's statement canceling Valko was rendered null and void. Reason being, if this was a statement that was legitimate and to be taken seriously, which by all means, that was the vibe that we got from the statement, then all promises made in that statement should have been carried out when they said they would be carried out. And as we know, Raphael's myth was promised to be revealed in July in that statement. But that did not happen, nor did we get any official statement from Infold telling us there would be a remedy made to the official statement where they would delay the myth instead of revealing it in July. Instead, there was the unofficial supposed statement from customer service where they said Raphael's myth was coming in August, but customer service can't be taken as the official spokesperson of any company, really. Not saying to always disregard customer service, but Infold has official communication channels that make official statements to the public. They don't speak through customer service. So yeah, now that one statement, one promise was broken out of the entire statement that was given, I feel like it's fair to say the rest of it unraveled. Like, what other claim from that statement can be disregarded now? I have a great idea. Why don't they just disregard that part where they said they are canceling the new male lead and all future male leads? Like, they've gone back on their word before. Why not do it again, but for Valko this time? And speaking about Raphael's fourth myth, we have found out that it was supposed to be called Martial Ode. We know this because there was a very brief update on Google Play Store where they added it to the game's description. However, players noticed that they very quickly removed it from the description in Google Play Store. So if you go there now, there's nowhere it mentions martial ode. Many players, myself included, see this as a good sign because it means Infold knows what's going on in the community. They know they'll be greeted with nothing but sheer outrage if they were to dare release Raphael's myth at this time without first addressing everything to do with Valko. Like, there's no way they're gonna release completely new content for us. So yeah, I feel like they played their cards right with that one, if you ask me. Anywho, that is all that I have for today. I hope that you all come away from this video feeling reassured and encouraged to keep fighting for Valko. I know the days of silence begin to blur together as you wonder if any of it really matters. Believe me, I've been there. Like, I constantly still go there from time to time. But overall, whenever my mind goes there, I just tell myself of all the things that I know for sure that have happened, that have shown me just how far we've come, and how I'm not crazy for holding on to the belief that Valko will be back. It truly is just a matter of when. So let's make a resolve to play the waiting game. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!